Welcome, all current, aspiring, and future investors. Trade Tech's Insight here with another value packed video. Today, we're going to be going over 4 different stocks. One that I recently added to my portfolio, one that I'm looking to add to my portfolio, and 2 that I've already mentioned before but are still at really good buying areas. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, the first stock we're going to be looking at is Chipotle. And obviously, I had to head over to my local Chipotle and get myself a delicious steak bowl, as you can see here. But in all seriousness, Chipotle is facing some short term headwinds, and the stock price action is very evident of that. Since about mid December of last year, we see that the stock price has really been in this strong downtrend, and up until January 13th is when we kind of hit that bottom. And since then, we've really been consolidating between the 100/200 moving average and the bottom of the 300 moving average. So that's kind of where Chipotle has been for the last several days. On the 4th, Chipotle did report earnings, and although they met expectations, the revenue fell slightly, so earnings did come in a little bit soft. This then led to investors worried about Chipotle's high valuation. You add to that inflation and high interest rates, and you can definitely see why Chipotle has been trading the way that it's been trading. On top of that, Chipotle is also facing leadership changes. The CEO is no longer there, so now we have investors also worried about the company's future direction. Personally, I think Chipotle is a strong long-term investment with solid fundamentals. I do think a lot of the headwinds that they're facing are short-term, and I think that this is a great opportunity. And I am a long-term believer in Chipotle. If we look at the revenue growth, Chipotle has shown historically very strong revenue growth driven by store expansion and price adjustment. Chipotle has a really strong brand with very loyal customers. Also, taking a look at their earnings, they continue to have very high margins and very strong pricing power, which is something that I think is key to consider when looking at stocks to invest in 2025. And what I mean by pricing power is, for example, if they were to increase their guacamole by $1, do those costs get passed on to the customer without significant demand drop off? And that was something that I noticed that they were able to do, is they were able to maintain that pricing power. They have a debt-free balance sheet, which is not common in the food franchising industry, and not a lot of Chipotle competitors can boast saying, hey, we are debt free. So that makes them really resilient if there were to be an economic downturn. For those reasons, I decided to add Chipotle to my long term investment portfolio. As of the close, it is currently at 56.18. I opened up my position at 57. And as it continues to consolidate in this area, and even if it were to dip lower, I would continue adding to my position, building out my position for the long term. Now, the next stock I want to add to your watch list is ELF. Now, if you don't know, ELF is a cosmetic and skincare company, and I'm sure a good majority of you have seen it in your favorite retail stores. But we're looking here at the ELF daily chart, and we can see this huge drop off here. This was a reactions off earnings. And as you know, we love to play overreactions in the market. Now, this was caused by a downward revision in their fiscal year guidance. Their guidance dropped from 35% growth to 28% growth. And we can see the reaction was an almost 25% drop in stock price. So I'm really considering ELF at these levels here. I'm seeing how it consolidates a little bit more, but I will likely be adding this to my portfolio in the next couple days. Now, the last 2 stocks we'll go over quickly. Again, these are stocks that I have mentioned before. First one is Microsoft. As you can see here, Microsoft is still consolidating around the 300 moving average. Now, the last company we have here is Enphase. Now, Enphase, based off the technical analysis, looks to have found its floor in the high 50s. And they also reported earnings on the 4th, showcasing very strong performance in quarter four of 2024. They surpassed revenues, they exceeded earnings per share, and they also exceeded gross margins. Long term investing is really all about patience and strategy. Do your research, stay the course, and let time work in your favor. If you found this helpful, if you found this valuable, make sure you hit that follow button for more market insight. See you in the next one.